I'm Gemma Jackson. I'm a sophomore, creative writing major, mostly prose. I love poetry. I love writing. I'm in love with writing and reading. Poetry has always baffled me by how beautiful and raw it is, and I struggle with trying to bring that out, I guess. I was introduced to William Stafford a couple weeks ago by Anna, so thank you, Anna. And I find his poetry absolutely amazing. The poem that I chose is A Ritual to Read to Each Other. I chose this one because when I read it, it really struck me as something so beautiful and profound that I just couldn't leave it where it was. So I hope as you hear it that it strikes you too. So, a ritual to read to each other. If you don't know the kind of person I am, and I don't know the kind of person you are, a pattern that others made may prevail in the world, and following the wrong God home, we may miss our star. For there is many a small betrayal in the mind, a shrug that lets the fragile sequence break, sending with shouts the horrible errors of childhood, storming out to play through the broken dike. And as elephants prayed, holding each elephant's tail, but if one wanders, the circus won't find the park. I call it cruel, and maybe the root of all cruelty, to know what occurs but not recognize the fact. And so I appeal to a voice, to something shadowy, a remote, important region in all who talk. Though we could fool each other, we should consider, lest the parade of our mutual life get lost in the dark. For it is important that awake people be awake, or a breaking line may discourage them back to sleep. The signals we give, yes or no, or maybe, should be clear. The darkness around us is deep. So the next poem I'm going to read is the only poem I guess I'm kind of proud of, or the only poem that I've written that I like anyway. Last spring I wrote it using a couple of lines that I'd written before that I liked but I hadn't used, so I hope you like it. It's called Spider Cracked Glass. She is sold to her position, sweeping low and gathering dust between her fingers, lying between her teeth, ragged shards of glass slipping through her lips as her tongue flaps, blood pooling in her mouth and lips shredded. O city that breathes with smoggy breaths, feeding crawling people with sweetened lies, housing people hunched over in curls of flesh and hidden bone. Who are you? I breathe. You are what? I sigh. You murmur. I mean something. It was a sight to behold, this merging of sweat and skin and blood. You panted and panted and couldn't weep for all that you cried. You never spoke of it at all. I spoke, but you never spoke of it at all. Oh, how you wish for spider-cracked glass. Whatever you see, and whatever you do, I see you. Oh, you, my dear. Oh, you. Thank you.